Throughout this series, we've discussed and applied LUTs and DCTLs. What happens if the correct LUT or DCTL is not available through the default installation of Resolve? Well, you can add your own, and it's actually pretty easy. Let's give that a try. Right now I have an untitled project, and there's nothing in it yet, but we can go ahead and update our LUT list. I'm going to go to my project settings, down to color management, and here in the lookup tables section, you can open the LUT folder and update the list. And it's actually as easy as copying and pasting LUT files and DCTL files from one folder to this folder. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the LUT folder. Here are all the current LUTs that come with the program. Now I can open up a second browser to find some additional files. I'll start with the DCTL. In fact, I've included one in the footage folder within the project files. You'll see the file has the DCTL extension. I'm going to copy this. I'm using Windows, so right mouse button, click copy, go to the LUT folder, right mouse button, click paste. So how about some LUTs? Well, LUTs and DCTLs are often available for download. For example, a camera manufacturer might provide a set, or you might find them from colorists or other post-production professionals who've written their own. For example, I've downloaded a set available through the Red Camera site. So maybe I want to go ahead and add all the ones designed for Resolve. I'll highlight those and do the same thing, copy and paste. This time I'll Control-C and then Control-V. And these have the cube or iLUT extension. These are easy to find. If you search on the internet for LUTs or DCTLs, you'll find a number of sites that provide them. For example, if I go to a browser, here's the Red Camera site. On the downloads page, there's a place to get the Red LUT kit. All right, those are added to the folder, but they're not integrated yet. I'll go back to Resolve, and I have to make sure I click the Update Lists button. Now it looks like nothing happens, but the LUTs and DCTLs are added to the correct menus. For example, if I go to the 1D input lookup table, I'll see a few of the new LUTs that were added, the ones with the Resolve prefix. In terms of the DCTLs, I can go back to my Media tab, and if I do have footage like this Alexa shot, I can right mouse button click, and if I go to DaVinci CTL, I'll see that DCTL I just added. Adding your own LUTs or DCTLs is the same process in 17. You can click the Open LUT folder and go to the same directory. Notice that the folder already has some subfolders, and these subfolders turn into submenus when you're working in the Media tab. So you can add your own folders here and organize the LUTs and DCTLs in whatever way you see fit. The difference with 17 is how it organizes the menus. There are fewer menus. For example, if you click the input lookup table, you'll see a long list of LUTs grabbed from the LUT directory and the subfolders. If you return to the Media tab and right-click on a piece of footage, you'll see a single LUT menu, though here you'll see the subfolders. And here's the DCTL added earlier. There's no separate 1D, 2D, 3D, and DCTL menus. I'll return to the older version. It's also possible to apply an entire set of LUTs by using the opencolorIO standard. OpenColor, as its name infers, is an open source color standard. Much like LUTs and DCTLs, you can download a file that contains the LUTs. And this is something you can apply inside Fusion. Let's open up another project. Shift 1. And this time I'm going to choose the Alexa Red ACES project. So this is using the ACES scene referred system. I'll go back to Fusion. Now instead of using the LUT button, once again we can apply a color transform within the network. I'll right mouse button click on the pipe beside Media In, go to Add Tool, then Color. And here you can see there are 3 OCIO or opencolorIO tools. If we want to apply a color space transform, we can select the Color Space tool. OCIO works by reading a config file, so you have to download that and browse for it. I already have mine on my desktop. Now I'll have quite a few subfolders, but the idea is to select a version of ACES that is closest to yours. So I'm going to go into the ACES 1.0.3 folder, and here you'll see a config.ocio file. I'll select that and open. Once you select the config file, a number of color space transforms are added to your menus. So I can go to source space and match the source and output and choose the output I want. I want to match the source space first. Because I am working in ACES, I can go find a ACES color space, and here it is, just plain ACES. And I can choose the output color space I want to preview. For example, it might be a Rec 709 space. I'll choose Rec 709 display. Give it a moment, and then you'll see the appropriate color space presented here. Now remember, if you do add a color space transform here in the tool network, the result is passed to all the other tabs. So again, this might just be for preview purposes. So when you're done with it, and you want to work in the other tabs, such as the color tab, turn this off. Or as we did in the previous video, branch the network and look at this color space tool in one of the views, but do not output it through the media out. In terms of finding the OCIO set of files, you can go to the opencolorIO website. You can see it here in the browser. We're going to move on and discuss some new features with Resolve 17.